Boom, so how's the cat and boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, how are we getting on now? I was just doing a little bit of research there. And, well, you won't believe it, lads, the crack that's going on. He needs some milk. Look, I don't take these people, I don't care. If you want to call yourself a frog, or a rat, or a pigeon, or a bottom feeder, I don't give a shit. But just don't expect me to go along with it. You get me? Or my children. Right, or our people here in Ireland, don't expect us to go along with it, because the United Nations push all this into your country under the guise of human rights. But where's your rights? Where's your children's rights? They're getting depleted day by fucking day. Other people come into the country, they give them your rights and they take your rights off of you. So you better stand up for your rights, because it's all about people power. If the people don't realise how much power they have if they would take to the streets, give up one day of their entire existence, their fucking one day of their life to say, no, we're not doing what you're saying, the people have spoken. If you don't, there's going to be none for the children in the future, only Big Brother watching your every move. And if you're a boy, in the future, your life is going to be so tough, because in the whim, one wrong word and the guards will be kicking in the door looking for you. Your children taken off, your family taken off, you all taken away from you. That's what's happening in the future. All pushed in by the green-haired feminazis, the alphabet people. Of course, all the people in the shadows. The alphabet people, they're in the front. What's really going on in the background is in the shadows. That's what you got to be watching out for.
I don't want to win any trophies for it, though. I feel like that's the most unfair way to compete, because it's not about winning.
What's it about?
Having fun with your friends for it, though. I feel like that's the most unfair way to compete, because it's not about winning for it, though. I feel like that's the most unfair way to compete, because it's not about winning.
So many kids that don't even have the opportunity to.
So 4 might not be the right number. 2 plus 2 might actually equal 5.
No, you know what I mean? Right, like, we'll start off with my man here now, right? He is 6'4", and he's trying to say that his genetic build and bone density and muscle structure and the whole shebang is not going to have no difference as if it was a woman. Alright? So, on we go.
My name is Afton. I play women's flat track roller derby, and I've been playing.
You have men thinking they're yours, and you have women thinking they're men, right? So some accountability has to be taken on both sides, because you have big bone breakers of men, and they're going in around all the women's sports, and they're destroying it for the women in swimming and running and triathlon, whatever it is, they're just obliterating the women. Because men, they have bigger bone structures, they have more muscle mass, they're built for power, they're built for strength and speed and stamina. Everything most likely the women don't have, the men have. And they go in and say, oh look, I dyed my hair green like a witch, I call myself a woman now, my name is Mary, not Michael anymore, and I want to participate in the games that are made for women. And if you say I can't, I'm going to call you transphobic peasants. And I'll get the system then, that's right, I'll get the so-called system, the UN. We'll get all them, right, and we'll have them on your back. That's what we'll do. Because they're the people pushing all the sick laws into the country, right?
You grow up playing sports. Some people are good at sports, some people aren't.
The problem I see with this argument is that there's a large group of people that, no matter what I do in a sport, will always automatically assume that I have an advantage. But they're not taking into account hours that I put into practice, hours that I put into weightlifting to become a better athlete. I am tall, and I can see that can be an advantage in some sports. But it doesn't necessarily guarantee that I have an advantage.
Boom, so I'm back again, lads. So what you make of that? Nice to know, eh? Now, lads, that's only the half it. Wait till you hear what they have to say. Wait till you hear the little songs that they be singing. That's why I'm telling people all the time. I'll be saying, it starts off as, oh, we just want our bit of freedom and we just want to express ourselves. I don't know why they want to go down the road and express themselves in a pair of budgie smugglers with all their bits hanging out for children to see.
We're here, we're queer, we're not going shopping. We're here, we're queer, we're not going shopping. We're queer, we're coming for your children. We're here, we're queer, we're not going shopping.
Because you gotta remember, when they first started coming out with all this, oh, you know, we want our rights, we're entitled to be called a they, a them, and if, whatever, alright? We want to express ourselves and we want to be recognised and all this cracking. People said, alright, go on then, do your little thing. But of course, like, people didn't know they were going to start going out in the streets, like, with all their bits hanging out, men twerking and women as bad with the chats hanging out. And the men were going to go around with rainbow budgie smuggler underpants on them. And everything hanging out around the place and all twerking and little parades, and then we'll have some face makeup and all these drawings and artists that way to draw in your children. But the moral of the story was, and I said this way back when and I'll say it again, that was only a front to what they really want. What they really want are the children.
We'll convert your children. Happens bit by bit, quietly and subtly, and you will barely notice it. Just like you worried, they'll change their group of friends. You won't approve of where they go at night to protest. Oh, and you'll be disgusted so gross when they start finding things online that you've kept far from their sight. We'll convert your children.
Slow down there, buckaroo.
We're coming for them. We're coming for your children.
Boom! So I'm back, lads. What you make of that? What do you make of that? Right? That's the crack. So you want to keep an eye on things because, like, this is how it's going down in Chinatown, right?
Hey!
What? He'd probably
You
be
do
more
not
than
get
what?
do not get up in my face like this. You do not
we
want
can't
to
talk
be playing
man to
this.
man?
Born in a hospital. They wrote M or F next to your birth certificate.
Okay, and it's my life.
That was dictated by a power much
And it's
greater
my life,
than mine.
and I don't
all right?
feel that way.
A higher
I feel
power
like
than me.
I'm a
I'm
man,
not the
so
authority.
I'm a man. We can't talk man to man?
I don't think that's possible.
That's not possible? Why?
I don't think it's possible because
Why?
there's only one man standing in this aisle right now. Now
And it's
sit
me.
down, little miss. If you continue this display, if you cannot confirm what my docket says here, that there are in fact two ladies sitting in this aisle,
There is one,
then
I'm sorry,
you're gonna have
a lady,
to leave.
correct? There is one lady
You're gonna have to
and
leave.
one man.
Well, that's not what it says I need in these seats in order to fly.
He would probably be
So
more
if you're going to
compliant
continue to
if you
fight the facts that I'm looking at right here,
I identify as a male.
because you're not the
because I
person
am a
on
male,
my list. You're not the
because
person
I
on my
am
list.
A man?
It's a simple one of two answers.
Are you mad because
There's
I'm
no
more man
gray
than
zone.
you?
There's no gray zone.
Is that what you're mad about?
Is it really that big of a deal?
That's not gonna be a man. Don't lose your job. Don't lose your job, brother.
no.
Don't lose it.
That's a good point, bro.
In court, that's not a man.
So do you think it's okay to transition children
Yeah.
to Christianity?
No.
A 12-year-old should be able to get a tattoo.
No. No. It's a pretty permanent decision. They can't make the decision for themselves yet. It's something permanent on their body.
Do you think a 12-year-old should be able to consent to puberty blockers?
Yes. Yes. And I understand how that sounds really hypocritical. Yes, it's a permanent change on their body, but I think that at that point in their life, they probably know who they are.
So I misunderstand. Are we saying that 2 + 2, if you say it's 4, that's racist? I mean, that sounds like we may be mischaracterizing it. What, if you can quickly sum it up?
No, that's not mischaracterizing it at all. Math is basically racist under this ideology because it says there is no such thing as an objective reality. So 4 might not be the right number. 2 + 2 might actually equal 5.
Who they want to be.
And you think so at 12 years old?
Yes.
See, right, lads, and another thing that's going on is paedophilia. Now, this video over the words I'm using, they'll want to shout about it, but know the truth, do the research yourself. It's rampant, right? And it's in places of power. And there's a cop here, I have a cop here, and he was a CIA detective over in England, right? And I know this because I lived in London for a few years, right? And he said that when he became a CIA officer, detective and stuff like that, he was out trying to catch the paedophiles. And what happened was, he thought the police force be with him, they were against him. They eventually wronged the man, and he, a CIA detective, wronged him.
They want justice. They want the police to do something. They're fed up with it. How many people watched the television and saw Jimmy Savile? And they've been made to suck him off and had sex with him as little kids and saw him with arms around celebrities and all that, and would have smashed the TV up when they saw it. No, there was no justice for them, and it was a cover-up at every level. So they want justice. So they come to someone like me and they say, John, we want justice. I'm going to give you not a drug dealer, not a heroin dealer or anything like that, because I just see them as my medicine man. I'm going to give you a child rapist, the man who raped me. And some of these people were still operating in the care homes.
While his son was dying in hospital, they were saying, oh, you have bills to pay and all this, and his son was fighting for his life. He broke his neck. They tried to take away his house, everything. His wife took off and left him, and he done everything to do the right thing. And when he's interviewed, he said, like, how come you didn't get caught up? Like, a lot more can get caught up in it. About they wind up getting entrapment. And he said, because they never had nothing I wanted. They offered him 40 grand, 80 grand to say nothing when he was investigating it. No way, he said. And they said, listen, John, his name was John, you're crossing the line there, John. You're going to come up dead, basically. And John said, I don't give a shit. I'm exposing all this shit that's going on. And that's all about the paedophilia rings that's still going on to this day. Right, lads, you got to remember this, right? As many people know us, when you take drugs, you take them once and they are gone. But when you're pimping out children to paedophiles, sick fucking twisted paedophile rings, them children can be pimped out over and over and over for years and years. You know the amount of money they make after have no soul. The people who do this to children are out and out satanic demons. And of course the ducks, because they're afraid to question anything themselves. And if they do, they're afraid to say it. So that's what you're dealing with. But I don't want to question everything, and I talk about everything. I say it out there. I don't give a fuck. Prove me wrong, happy days. That means I'm learning something. But I'm not going to sit there like a simpleton and just absorb the shit, the fake media, the radio, the education system, the politicians, the unholy minions of Satan, the singers, the songwriters, all them soaps, all that crap. That's right. I need them to educate me. That's what happens to a lot of people. They let all that stuff I'm talking about influence their mind, and they don't question none of it. They just merrily go along there, bah, bah, bah. And when someone like me speaks up then and tries to tell the truth, he know what's going on around the place. That's what they say, and they're like sheep, and they're bah all over the place, right? And they're laughing away with the rest of the people, because that's what ignorance does. Ignorance, first form of defense, is to laugh at you. So remember that when you're educating someone and they start laughing into your face, remember that is they're ignorant. So, and you know, you got to know where to draw the line with that, because remember, you can't argue with ignorance, because ignorance has a way of baiting you till you submit to ignorance. So don't argue with ignorance, because an intelligent person will always lose to ignorance, because you can't argue with it, because no matter what you say, no matter how you articulate your words and get it out there, ignorance only laughs. I know what you're talking about, I know what you're talking about. So don't be drawn into that. You know, if people ever argue with me in any of my videos and I know this is pure ignorance, he didn't watch the video, he didn't take it in, he's making a decision, I won't argue with them people, because they're ignorant. I'm not going to give them 2 fucking seconds of my time. But if they had an intelligent argument and they were seeing it different than I was, but it was a proper intelligent argument, well, I'd only appreciate that. I'd say, no worries, nice to talk to someone who questions things, does not believe in everything I fucking say. But obviously he's doing his research. That's the kind of people I like to talk to. So anyway, lads, keeping it lit here today, keeping it lit. Gonna go up now and catch a few roach in a while. Getting a few roach for a bit of pike fish. You know, I like to bring my children pike fish and they likes it. In Valley Ground. It does a bit in the winter time, you know, passes the whole winter, you get a nice crisp day here and there, maybe have a Sunday, and go. I don't do the competitions, no, I just does a little bit of fishing ourselves, but, you know, it's all about getting out there. Anyway, lads, with that said, people of the world, sure, God bless you and God bless your family. Until next time, lads, keep her lit. Pa-pow! I fear God, right, because God is the Almighty. I wouldn't like the wrath of God coming down on me, right?